I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, Patreon review, this time from Buck City, who wanted my thoughts on the 2006 film Bordertown. Now, right off the bat, if anyone was ever interested in requesting pretty much any type of video, you can do so either by requesting it directly via my PayPal or by joining my Patreon. The links are down below in the info box, both of them. If not, no worries, but if so, thank you so much. Again, you can either send it directly via my PayPal or join me on my Patreon. But Bordertown, I believe it's based on a true story. Whether how much is true or not, there's always that case. But it's a movie that does have good intentions, because it's about these factory women that are getting raped and murdered at the Mexican border town, and Jennifer Lopez plays an American journalist who works for Sheen. She goes down there for the story, meets the local newspaper man, played by Antonio Banderas, and him and Lopez have a little bit of a history together. They find out that one woman survived. This is a series of women that's been raped and then murdered, or murdered and raped, and again, one woman survived, and it's Lopez and Banderas, mainly Lopez, dealing with the police, tracking down the buses, because one of them was a bus driver. At one point, her and Antonio Banderas almost just killed, because they're at a warehouse, and this truck tries to run them down. Not a bad scene, some decent POV shots from the truck chasing down our characters. It's one of those things where the characters get into a level below and the truck passes over them. Again, some decent POV shots among other stuff in that. And I don't mind Jennifer Lopez as an actress. A lot of people don't like her. I always thought she was a good actress ever since I first saw her in films like Anaconda. I still enjoy Anaconda to this day. I enjoyed her in Out of Sight. When I look at Lopez, yeah, there's the thing where Bennifer, that whole spiel. I didn't give a fuck about her relationship with Ben Affleck. Did not give a flying fuck. I thought they were fine in Geely. I reviewed Geely. Geely's not that good, but it's not one of the worst fucking films ever. Believe me, I've seen 1,000 movies worse. If you give me a few days, I could probably write down 1,000 movies worse than Geely, when I can remember those shitty movies. And Jennifer Lopez does a good job in this movie. Martin Sheen, he appears from time to time as her boss. He does fine. Antonio Banderas, I like Antonio Banderas. It doesn't feel like he has a lot to do in this movie, though. Maybe because it's based on the true stories, but if that's it, fine. You want to base it, take inspiration, and that way you can have the inspiration of the story, but be able to do your own thing, more freedom with that, and give Antonio Banderas a lot more to do. Have them really be a team together working on this. But most of it is Jennifer Lopez, or Lopez and this girl who survived. Antonio Banderas, again, I thought he was underused. I think a lot more could have been done with that character. A lot more. Other issues, there's one point where Lopez is with the girl, they're at this party, and then I swear to God, out of the blue, some fucking musical performance happens. I'm like, what is he, who's this guy? He's going to say, Bailamos! Bailamos! No, it's not that. At least I would enjoy the song, but I didn't like the song. I didn't know who the guy was. Did this guy know the director? And the director's like, I got you covered, man. In the middle of the fucking movie, you start playing your fucking song. As if I gave a shit. Jennifer Lopez starts working undercover in the factory to be as bait. And then she gets a tap, but then she gets away. Lopez leaves back to the States to try to get her story printed, but it doesn't. And this part I really enjoyed. I kind of wish we had more of her dealing with the American newspaper politics. And where she's like, you know what, it isn't free trade, it's slave trade, it's a goddamn scam. And the argument she has with Martin Sheen, I do think is one of the better moments of the movie dramatic wise, because I think both actors do their jobs fairly well in the movie. Jennifer Lopez, Martin Sheen definitely brought at least a little bit of intensity out of each other, playing off each other back and forth. I wish there was more of that. I wish there was more of maybe these two fighting the system of the indifference of American newspapers and not wanting to piss people off, which could be relatable today because media, they don't want to piss off someone like China. We know that. They don't want to piss off someone like China. Some country like China. They don't want to piss something. A lot more I think could have been done with that. But it's not. Just pretty much Lopez has a backstory where her family was similar to the woman back in Mexico, and they were killed in front of her, and she's like, you know what, that girl could have been me. So she quits the job, goes back. By this point, spoiler alert, starting now, spoilers, because that's how I do reviews, spoilers. It's just how I do it. Antonio Banderas gets shot by a drive-by, even more showcasing that he was underused and kinda pointless, kinda. One thing leads to another. Lopez gets to the shanty town. Some people are fucking around, and the shanty town starts burning down. This guy, one of the guys that tried to rape and kill the woman in the beginning, is straining Lopez. And the girl comes out and smacks the guy in the face and burns him up. So they didn't even get both guys. I guess they only got one of the two that did it. And then at the end, Jennifer Lopez takes over Antonio Banderas' paper. And it even says, the war as murders continue. Which I guess, if it's based on a true story and it's still really going on, can I really blame the movie for ending that way? Not really. I mean, it does bring, how do I put it? It does bring attention to something that's really going on there, where these factory women who helped build TVs and computers and shit that people in America use. But people are indifferent or don't care. And those women get paid nothing, next to nothing, and then willy-nilly will get raped and murdered, or both. And they're still continuing these at this time, 2006. So it does bring attention to an important issue. I thought Lopez and Martin Sheen and a little bit Banderas is in it do a good job. I wish Antonio Banderas was used more. Martin Sheen, he's in a handful of scenes. I thought the stuff between the two of them were some of the best parts. I would not say the ending is satisfying, but at the same time, if that's how it with true story, then how could it be satisfying? But I mean, I don't think it's that bad of a drama. If you're into that type of story and you watch the trailer and you're into it, you do a lot worse. This is just not the movie I would gravitate towards. And I think that comes more to personal taste and cup of tea. And I'm a guy that I don't just love action and horror and sci-fi. Those are my favorites. I love comedy. But also do enjoy And Justice for All with Al Pacino. All the President's Men, which I reviewed with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman. The Shawshank Redemption. There are movies of that nature that I do enjoy. I enjoyed Sicario. Well, that has action in it, so that's maybe the wrong. I liked Out of Sight. George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez. There are various other movies I mentioned that I liked. Just give me a list, I'll point them out. So I don't think this is a bad movie. It's just, it is what it is, and you take. It's not much action. There's a few moments of it being a thriller. Although if I want to watch thrillers about investigative reporters, I'll watch something like The Pelican Brief, which I enjoyed more than this. So this was like an okay, alright movie. I would never see it again. So I don't really know what else to say. Lopez did a good job. A lot of people hate on her. I don't understand why. I don't give a shit about her as a singer. I don't listen to her songs. I don't give a fuck about her singing. So I just ignore it. But I think she's a pretty damn decent actress. But that's just me. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Later.